Hello guys, this is Noel 3D. Today I'm going to show you how I created this residence render inside Blender 3.3, and I'm going to show you the ways that I have used to achieve this result. I hope you'll get something out of this tutorial, and if you're interested on this project file, you can find it on my Patreon, and that's a great way to support me so that I can keep making these free videos on YouTube. So let's go to the tutorial. So the first thing that you have to do is just go to 3D warehouse and search a house. Just in the collection tab, you can see different collection of houses. Just select the one that you want, or you can also use your own project. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use a house that's been done by another person. I think I like this one, so just click this one. I've already done that. As you can see, you will see a different kinds of houses in this collection. So just download this one. I'm going to download the 2019 version. You can just download it any one of them. So after this, we have to import the SketchUp that we have downloaded. To do that, we need an add-on called SketchUp Importer, which I will place the link in the description below. So to install that add-on, what you have to do is just go to Edit and then go to this Preferences. After you have clicked that, you'll see something like this, and click this add-on tab, and then click this Install, and then just go find the zip file that you have downloaded. You don't have to extract it or anything. After you have selected it, just select it and just click this install add-on. After I have done that, you will find something like this. I have already installed it, that's why I'm not doing it. SketchUp, as you can see, you will find something like this. Make sure that you have activated it, this right button. Then after that, just click right here and then select this Save Preferences, then it will be saved. After I have done that, in order to see if this add-on is installed completely, before that, let me press 8, select everything, and then press X and then delete, and let me enable shortcut key so that you can see what I am selecting or clicking. So just to see if this add-on has been installed correctly, what you have to do is just go to File and click this Import, and then you will see this Import SketchUp scene. If you see this, that's probably the sign that the add-on has been installed successfully. So just click this Import add-on and then go to the folder that you have downloaded this house. I'm going to go to Downloads, and then I'm going to select the SketchUp model, and after that I'm going to select this Import SKPC, and I'm going to wait until it has finished. As you can see, it's fast. Uh, as you can see, this is the scene. So as you can see, if I go to this AV material preview, this is what we're getting. So we might have to set up some things. So first, let us adjust the glass. So I'm going to select this one. So I'm going to go to shader editor, which I'm already there, as I've shown you earlier, just this shader editor. And if I go to this material properties right here, we don't see any nodes. So I have to click this use nodes. When I do that, I can see this node. So to create a glass, I usually use two ways. The first way is I just click this surface right here, this principal BSDF, and I will select this glass, and then I will make this roughness to 0, and I will change the IR to 1.55. This is just a simple way to create a glass, but sometimes this does not give me the desired result. So what I have to do is I'm going to use the combination of a glossy BSDF and a transparent BSDF. So basically, glasses has the property of both, right? It will have a glossy, and also it will have some kind of transparency so that we can see through. So I'm going to use the combination of those two. So to do that, just press Shift A, and you will find something like this, and then click this search and add a glossy. As you can see, glossy BSDF. Place it right here, and then press Shift A again and add transparent BSDF like this, as you can see. And we have to mix these two. So to do that, I'm going to press Shift A and add mix shader. As you can see, this mix shader, and I'm going to plug this one on the first and this one on the second, and I'm going to plug this one right here. Since we are on EV material preview, we're not going to see that much. And from the glossy, I have to make the roughness to 0, and I think I have to make this one the color to be the value to be 1, and I think this one is 1 on by default. So I'm going to press Shift A and then again type layer weight. This is going to be the factor, and I'm going to use Fresnel for the factor. You'll see the change when we are in rendering view, but we don't see anything. As you can see, since you are on EV, we don't see that much the change of this. So we gonna have to, come for this later. But these are the the two setups that I use mostly. So after this, let us, use the materials that we have got when we have imported from the SketchUp, right? So for example, I think this concrete is useless, right? As you can see, this concrete it does not have any resolution. It's really blurred and everything. But this one, as you can see, this one, well, we can work with this, right? It's really good and it's really visible. So just let us adjust the existing textures that we can work with. The first one is this one. I think we can also, yeah, I think we can also work with this one, right? Yeah, I think we can also work with this one. The grass, maybe we have to change the grass. We have to change the grass. And I don't know, is it supposed to be like a corrosion? We can also work with that, or we can just change it to anything that we want. And for the wood, I think the wood is a little bit low resolution. We might have to change that, right? We might have to change that. So just let us start with this. So as you can see, when you click that, you'll have an image texture with it. As you can see, this is the image texture that's responsible for this one. So how can we use this in order to create a realistic texture? I will show you that. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to give this bump. As you can see, it's really flat, right? So to give that, I'm going to press Shift A and go to search, and I'm going to add a bump texture. Click this bump, and I'm going to use the image texture from right here and click this to this bump, I mean height, and I'm going to plug the normal to the normal. When I do that, you can see I have some kind of bump, but this is a little intense, right? So just decrease the distance to 0.005 or maybe 0.05. Yeah, something like this, right? Something like this. The next thing that I have to do is, I think the roughness of this is a little bit constant, right? So to do that, what you can do is then press Shift A, and I'm going to add a color ramp and plug this one right here, and I'm going to plug this right here, and then this right here. So as you can see, when I do that, I have a roughness map. So if I just press Ctrl Shift click this one, as you can see, this is the roughness map that I'm getting, as you can see. So for example, if I make this one like this, as you can see, the roughness map is going to be this one. So the black is going to be the reflective part, and the white is going to be the rough part, or the one that's not going to be reflective. Anything that is in between, it's going to use the value that it has. So if I Control Shift click this one, as you can see, it's more rough, right? Since I have dragged the white part like this. But if I, place the white as it was, as you can see, it will be more reflective, which means we have more black values, as I have said earlier. So that's what you can do in order to control the roughness of, or the reflectivity of something, or the roughness or the smoothness of a surface. I think this is good, right? I like the reflectivity of this one. So the next thing that you can do is to control the roughness. You can also use color ramp. The next thing that I do is I used RGB curves. So if I press Shift A and go to search RGB curves, I use this one. So like I use three kinds of values like this in order to create variations in the in as you can see. I sometimes use this in order to maximize the thing that I can get out of this single image. So if I press select it, press M, this is what it was. As you can see, this is the change that we are getting, but I'm going to decrease this one, something like this. I don't want the effect to be that much. And the next thing that I can do is, let me drag this one like this. I can also use a displacement texture. Press Shift A and add displacement, and I can plug the displacement right here, and maybe use this value, the black and white value right here. As you can see, this is what I'm getting. So I have to also decrease 0.05, something like this. So if I press M, as you can see, this is the change that we are getting. I think this is good, right? Yep. So you can use this to get the most out of a single image. The next thing is, let me go right here. I think just repeat the same process for this one also. After I have finished setting up the materials, for the remaining textures, we are going to use a free add-on called EasyPBR, which you'll find the link in the description below. In order to install this add-on, you might have to see some kind of video in case if you don't know how to install it. It has two steps. Just watch a video and come back to here. After you have installed it, you'll find it on the shader editor, and then if you press N, you will slide out this tab, and you'll find something called ePBR, and you can find the the assets right here. Local is going to be the one that has downloaded items, and the one online is going to be the one that you find on the web, and which you can download them and you'll find them on the local. So we're going to use this add-on. Let me start with, for example, let me start with this one. I'm going to give it a texture. So what kind of texture should I give it? Let me select right here. I'm going to give it a painted plaster. As you can see, when I click that, I have different kinds of painted plaster, as you can see. So what kind of painted plaster should I give it? I think maybe this one. No, I think this is worn out a lot. Maybe this one. Yeah, maybe this one. I'm going to download it. I have up to 12K but for this tutorial, maybe I need 2K or something. Yeah, maybe 2K is good. So I'm going to select this 2K JPEG, and I'm going to OK. Maybe if I need a different version, maybe let me select this one, so that I may have to mix both these textures. So just I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to download the 2K version of this one also. So just as you can see, it's downloading, and then go to local. Local will show you the ones that have been downloaded. So I'm going to select this one, and then let me select this one, or just this. Let me select this one. I think they have this similar material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click minus right here in this material properties, and now this does not have any material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to hit OK. Now this is assigned to this one, but we're not seeing anything. The reason for that is this does not have a proper UV map. So to do that, I'm going to press tab to get inside of the edit mode, and I'm going to press A and then U, and then I'm going to hit Smart UV project and then hit OK. Now we can see the material. So if I press N and then go to item right here, I think the scale is not applied, but it's -1, so we don't need to have any problem. I'm going to press Ctrl A and then apply the scale. As you can see, this have to be +1. Then I'm going to tab again, press A, U, and then Smart UV project. Now this is the proper UV map, but the scaling is, I think it's not correct. So to fix that, what we can do is, as you can see, we have the scale as we have done earlier. Press Shift A and then add a value like this, and then plug this one right here, and then maybe make this one 10 or something like this, as you can see. So when I make it 10, I'm seeing something, but the placement of this texture is not correct. Maybe Smart UV project is not working. So sometimes what I have to do is you can just place scenes right here. For example, if I change this to each selection mode, I can place a scene. I can UV unwrap it manually, just as you can see, but I'm using this so that I can save time. So I'm going to press A, and then let me use this Q projection. Maybe that works. Yep, I think this Q projection is working great. So I'm going to make the scale to 1, and then maybe 3 or something. As you can see, this is the painted plaster, but this one is a little too pure, right? As you can see, it does not have any cracks or something, so it's a little bit pure. So to introduce some imperfection to it, what we are going to do is we are going to mix the two textures. This one, as you can see, this one has scratch. So what I can do is I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to hit plus. In this case, I'm not going to select this material. I'm going to use this node group, and I'm going to OK. Now this node group is added. As you can see, if I press G, the node group is added. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate this principal base div. So I'm going to plug this one right here. I'm in this coordinate, sorry, and plug this one right here, and then just repeat the same process. Plug the color to the color right here, and then the roughness to the roughness the displacement, I'm going to copy both of them, and then I'm going to press Shift D, and then plug this one right here, and then plug the displacement right here, and the height, the normal to the normal right here, and then plug this one right here, like this. So how are we going to mix these two textures, right? I have this one which is already plugged right here. So it's really simple. We are going to use a mix shader. I'm going to press Shift A, and then I am going to add a mix shader right here, as you can see, and I'm going to plug this one on the bottom like this, and let us wait until the EV is compiling the shaders. It has already finished, as you can see. Now we're having the combination of both two texture, but we're having like 50% of the first one and 50% of the second one. So if I make this one like this, as you can see, I'm getting like 100% of the first one, which is this one. If I make it like this, I'm getting the 100% of the the second one. This is not what I want. This is not what I want. I want some portion of to be the first one and some portion to be the second one. So to do that, I'm going to use a Musgrave texture for the factor. So I'm going to press Shift A and then search Musgrave, like Musgrave, like this uh, Mus Musgrave texture like this, and I'm going to press Ctrl T so that I can add mapping node like this. So this Musgrave texture is let me plug this one like here. This is going to be the factor, right? So what this is going to do is in texture for a factor. So if I press Ctrl Shift click right here to see this Musgrave, as you can see, we have two textures or two colors, the white and the black one. So what it's going to do is on the black part, one of the texture is going to be applied, and on the white part, one of the texture is going to be applied. I think it's really simple, right? The concept is really simple. So this is what we are going to do. And then let me plug this one right here. So to see this effect correctly, I'm going to press Shift A and then add a color ramp and plug this one right here. So if I just again click Ctrl Shift click right here, as you can see, the white is not clearly white. It's kind of, it has a grayish part, or it's like light gray. So whenever it's gray, it's going to combine the white and the black part, which is going to be the combination of these two textures. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the white to be white and the black to be purely black, like this, as you can see. Something like this. Now this one is the white part is purely white and the black part is purely black. But I'm not satisfied with this one, so I can just manipulate some settings right here. So the first one is the detail. I'm going to make the detail to be 12 or something, but we don't have any change. The reason for that is I need to change the dimension to 0. When I do that, I am seeing something that's really interesting, right? So the black part is going to be one of the texture and the white part is going to be one of the texture. So I can just decrease the scale like this, 0.1 like this, maybe 0.5, and also I can just for example change this to object, the texture coordinate like this, and I can change the location like this. As you can see, I can change the location of the Y. So this is what it's going to be like. So I'm going to press Ctrl Shift click like this and see what we're getting. As you can see, this is what we're getting. We are seeing more of the damaged part. So maybe I have to switch this to like this, just switch them. I'm still seeing them that much. The reason for that is I think let me Ctrl Shift click right here, maybe decrease the detail, something like this, and then what I'm going to do is yeah, something like this, right? Something like this. Now I have a smaller part of the white. So if I Ctrl Shift click this one, and then swap it again. As you can see, now I have less. So I think on this one, as you can see, the white part is going to be the damaged part. So I can just make it like this so that it can be visible like this. And then I want the displacement of this one, not that one. So I'm going to place this one right here. Or I can just mix the displacement of both of them, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe later. But for now, I'm going to keep this one as it is. As you can see, we have some kind of damage, right? We have some kind of damage on our plaster. So I think the next thing that we can do, as you can see, the damage is a little bit. For example, if I press M to mute this one, so that we don't see the effect of this color ramp. This is what we're getting. I can make the color a little bit black. So what I can do is just press Shift A and then RGB curves, and then plug this one to the color. And I can make it something like this, as you can see, more black. And then I can press Shift A and then add hue saturation node, and then decrease the saturation so that I don't see this pinkish color, as you can see. So that will be something like this. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. And then also I can control the scale differently. So I can select this one, press Shift D, and then I'm going to plug this one right on the coordinate, and maybe make this one 5. I think they were too big, right? So just press M to unmute this one. If this is too much, I think I'm going to reset curve this one so that it won't be that much. Yeah, something like this. And also I can control the location like this. But no, I can, in order to change the location, what I have to do is just control this one, as you can see, like this. Yeah, I think this is looking good. So by this method, just copy paste this texture on all of the white part, since they are going to be similar. As you can see, after I've placed the texture, applied the texture, we're not seeing any texture. The reason for that is, as I have said earlier, it does not have a proper UV map. So to do that, just select this one, and then go select the linked, and then material. It will select all of the materials with this texture. And after that, I'm going to tab, and then everything is selected, and I'm on the edit mode. And then I'm going to press hue, and then I'm going to select the skew projection. When I do that, as you can see, this is what I'm getting. But on some of them, the texturing is a little bit intense. The reason for that is the scale is not correct. So I'm going to select this one, press Ctrl A, and then scale. I think the scale is applied. What I have to do is go inside this UV map, UV editor, hit tab, and then I'm going to press S to scale it, so that I will until I have something that looks good. I think this looks good, right? Or I can just select it, press U, and use the Smart UV project. I think this one is better, and I'm going to press S to scale it like this. So guys, you might have to adjust the scale since on different. Yeah, I think this one is good. Yeah, I think I like what I'm getting. I might have to adjust them on my rendering view. So after this, let us give this steel and material. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to shader editor like this, and then let me change this one to online. Then let me go to some metal. Where's metal? Like this, as you can see. So we have different kinds of metals, as you can see. So which one should I use? I think it should be black, and maybe metal 40 will be good. I don't know. Let us use this one, metal 40. Or I can just go to local and find, I think metal 40 would be good. Yeah, I think metal 40 will be good. So I'm just going to download it and then hit OK. Let me also download another alternative for this. Yeah, I think I will just adjust this one into my preference. So after this, I'm going to hit minus, and I'm going to hit plus right here, and I'm going to hit OK. Now this have this material. So after this, I need to adjust the scale. So I'm going to press Shift A and then add a value node as we have done earlier, and plug this one to the scale, and I'm going to hit 5 or 10 or 5. I think the placement of the texture is not correct, so I'm going to tap, press A, U, maybe use cube projection. I think cube projection would be good. Yep. So after this, I think I don't like this texture, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to press Shift A and then add a mix RGB and plug it right here. So I'm going to use, for the color one, I'm going to use a mix between a color and the texture. So I'm going to make this one to black, and if I make the factor like this, you can see the black portion is going, the texture is going to disappear. So I'm going to make it something like this, and I'm going to right click and then shade auto smooth, so that will be correct, as you can see. Or you can make it shade flat, but if you make it shade smooth, the shading will not be correct, so just make it shade auto smooth. So I think this one is what I'm getting. Render from a little bit far apart. We don't need anything better than this one. So after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate the roughness. As you can see, it's a little bit constant. So I'm going to press Shift A and then add a color ramp like this, and maybe drag the black portion, as you can see, like this, and also add RGB curves and make this portion like this. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, I think this is looking good. We might have to adjust, the property of this after we are in the render view. So I think this one is looking good. What can we do? Maybe affect the displacement like this. The strings of the normal, as you can see, if you decrease it. So just, I think this is looking good. Maybe for the, if I make it 1, yeah, I think I like what I'm getting. So I'm just going to drag and drop this one also. Drag and drop this one for this one. I can just select it. I think I'm going to leave this one as it is. I like this one. Just drag and drop this one for also this one, and also this one. I think they are going to have the same property. I think this is going to be rope, some kind of cable. So what I'm going to do, select this one, and then go to select this one, and then we have, I think, a rope texture right here. Where right here, as you can see, rope. So we have different kinds. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to download it. It's 1K version. I don't need anything more than that. And then I'm going to tap, press AU, and then let me select this cube projection. I can also go to local. I think I have already downloaded this one, so I can just hit minus, and then to hit minus you have to get outside of the edit mode. So just get out of there and then hit minus, and then I think it has downloaded that one, this one, this is what I want. So I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to hit OK. So let us see what we are getting. I think the scaling is too big, so maybe let me make it 10 or something. 20. I think the placement of the texture is not correct. Maybe hit tab, press AU Smart UV project, if that will give me something that I want, that's more desirable. Let me add a value node. 50 or something. Yeah, this from a distance, I think it's not going to look that bad, right? Maybe 100. Yeah, from a distance, it's not going to look that bad. We can, select this one and then select both of this for the color ramp. I mean for the roughness, and I'm going to press Ctrl V, and then I can plug the roughness right here, and then plug this one right here so that I can have a little bit more manipulation. Yeah, I think I like this one. For the for the this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, go to UV editor, I'm going to press 8, select everything, and then press S and then 2. I'm going to scale it like this. I think this was a little bit too much. I mean the scaling. Then after this, I'm going to press A and then X and then limited dissolve. As you can see, I'm dissolving the unnecessary H. After that, just select anywhere else so that we can deselect it, and then go to select and then select sharp H, as you can see. And after that, I'm going to press Ctrl B and then bevel it like this, and then scroll your middle mouse upward like this so that you'll add more H. And then if you click right here, we have the property right here, the width and the segment. So just you can use 6 segments so that you'll have more detail and accuracy. And this is for the iron part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use similar to this one. Just I'm going to, drag and drop it right here. Yeah. So I'm okay with this one. And then the last thing that we are going to do is we are going to adjust this the sidewalk, and also for this grass. So for the grass, just go to ground, and then select this ground 37. I think I have already downloaded, so just I'm going to deselect this. I mean delete this one, and then hit plus, and I'm going to hit OK. I have downloaded the 2K version. As you can see, this is the ground. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the specular to 0 since I don't need any specularity. And then I'm going to press Shift A and then add RGB curves. And then I'm going to make it something like this. So this is our grass texture, and for this one, what I'm going to use is I am going to use tiles. Where are the tiles? As you can see, tiles. So we have different tiles, as you can see. So just select the one that's appropriate, that has some kind of concrete feeling. Maybe this one. Yeah, I'm going to download this one, 1K version. So I'm just going to select, go find different tiles. Yeah, and also I can go to also paving tiles. So I mean paving stones. So I'm going to select this one. As you can see, we have different kind of paving stones that we can use for this tutorial. As you can see, we have cobblestone right here. So just select that's suitable for you guys, or you can use or you can use any texture that you want from different websites. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to download it, and I'm going to use the 2K version for this one. So after you have finished downloading, what you can do is you can just hit tab to select everything, as you can see, and change this one to face selection mode. I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to, when you select this one, it's going to show you the corresponding material, and I'm going to select, as you can see, and then I'm going to hit plus right here, and I'm going to hit OK. Then after that, this one is already selected, so just select this one and then hit assign. When you do that, it's assigned to this one, and I'm going to press U and then select this smart UV project and hit OK. Or cube projection will also be good. I think cube projection is better. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe change the scale to 10 or maybe 20. Yeah, I think 20 will be good, as you can see. By the way, you can also drag and drop this texture, this one. I think let me drag and drop this one. And then I'm going to select this one and then go to UV editor as we have done in the previous texturing. Press A and then scale it until we have the proper scale like this. Yeah. And also for this one, we tab, select it, and then this is the corresponding material, and then hit select. And then you let me choose Q projection. As you can see, this is the texture. And then press A, and I'm going to scale it. Yep, I think I like what I'm getting. Or I can use some kind of tile. So just let me go to this tile. Where is the tile? Tiles like this. I already downloaded some texture, maybe this one. So I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to tap. This one is already selected, so I'm going to select the style and I'm going to hit assign. As you can see, this is how it's being assigned. And then I can make the texturing like this. I think one will be good as it is. But what I want to make this, I want to, I want the texture to be similar to this one. So I'm going to press Shift A and then add RGB curves. And then I'm going to make it something like this. And then go to this red and make it decrease the red, or not use the red at all. Maybe G, the green one. G is green. Maybe yeah, something like this will be good, right? I think they're quite similar right now. And also you can just place, use this one, this tile, or I think what is this one? Yes, yeah, tile C 150 centimeters, and I can just drag and drop it right here, and drag and drop it right here, and drag and drop it right here. What I can do is I can select all of them, and then right click and then join, so that they will be single material. And then after this I can hit tab, and then I can select this one, and then I can hit select, so that it will select the similar materials. And I'm going to press U, and then I'm going to click this Q projection, so that they will have similar mapping. And after that I can go to this UV editor. I can press A and then press S to scale it like this, as you can see. And also I can press R and then 90 degrees, so that it will be rotated. Yeah, something like this will be good. Make sure that the texturing is similar. So just duplicate the same process that we have done here to right here. And also the next thing that I can do is to create some kind of variation. I can select this one, click this one, so that this will be a different texture, and then go to the shader editor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift A and then add RGB curves for this one also, and then place this one right here. And I can make this one darker like this. As you can see, I can make it darker, or create some kind of variation like this. As you can see, when I do that, and also let me decrease the displacement. I think it's affecting 0.005. Maybe 2 will be good. Yeah, something like this. As you can see, we have a difference between this texture, as you can see. So I can select this one, copy this one right here, select this one, press Ctrl V, and I can place it right here. But for this one, I can make the effect like this, or make it a little bit more darker, just to change something. Something like this. And also select the style. It has to be some kind of, it has to have some kind of similarity, so just make it a lot darker like this. Yeah, I don't need this. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. I think this will be good, right? Will this be good? Red. Yeah, maybe something like this. Yeah. So what you have to do is just duplicate this one for this one also, or you can use a different texture from different sites. So I'm going to use that. I have some kind of texture that will be good for this one, which you will not find it right here, but if you're interested, you can find it on my Patreon. So I'm going to paste the texture right here. So guys, as you can see, I have used a different texture which is more realistic, and it really looks like a walking path. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to give some of the remaining textures, like for example this, this metal. As you can see, I think this has to have the same material as this one, so I'm just going to select this one and then drag, go to this material properties and then drag and drop it like this, as you can see, and see if the UV mapping is correct. If not, just select it, press N, and then go to transfer. Make sure that the scale is applied. If the scale is not applied, press Ctrl A, and then select scale. The scale will be applied, and after that, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, and then press U, and then use Smart UV project or cube projection. Let me use cube projection. I think cube projection would be good, right? Yeah, maybe let me adjust the texture of this one. Yeah, maybe something like this. Yeah, just do this, and then I think there's also something right here. Just drag and drop it right here, and also there's some right here. So I think by using this method, give all of the necessary materials, just try to change the wood material. You have a lot of materials right here. Like for example, if I go to the wood, where's the wood? Right here. As you can see, you have different kinds of woods. These are the ones that I have downloaded. If you go to online, you can see a lot of these are wood floors. Just drag them apart to see the woods. So just select the one that's suitable for you. I have shown you how you can do it, and also you can also change the color of the frame like this. You can make them any kind you want, the aluminum and everything. Just select one of the metals that you have seen in the material shader. So guys, the next thing that you have to do is just fill up any texture that is not suitable for this scene. That's what I'm going to do. So guys, as you can see, I have finished creating the textures, and as you can see, I have made the window panels to be black, all of them. Just make them black, and I have given the planters, all of them, the proper grass texture, as you can see, and also the door. As you can see, I have made it to be a little more interesting, and also I have changed this one to be a tile. As you can see, I have used tile 52. You can use that. And the other thing that I have done is I have changed this one to be a wooden texture. As you can see, I made it to be a wooden texture, and if I go inside of edit mode, as you can see, I have subdivided it to make it a little bit more interesting. So guys, the next thing that we have to do is we have to populate our scene. So we need to add some cars right here, some trees, grasses, bushes, everything that could make this scene a little bit more interesting. Some kind of chairs, plants, potted plants right here, some kind of IVs right around here, so that it could look a little bit more interesting. We have to add that. So to do that, we are going to use two things. The first one is 3D warehouse, which I have downloaded this house, and also the second one is I will use a free add-on called polygonic, which we are going to use the grass from there. So guys, let's do that. So and let me select the surface which I'm going to add the grass on. So I'm going to select this surface which the grass is going to be applied, right? This is the surface. So in order to use that add-on, the first thing that you have to do is just download it. I will place the link in the description below. And then as you can install in any add-on, just go to edit and then preferences, and then in the add-ons tab, just click the install. Go select the zip file that you have downloaded. You don't have to extract it, and then select that zip file and select it, and then click this install add-on. After that, you'll find it botanic free. Just activate it and then select save preferences. After you have done that, if I press in my keyword, you'll find it like this. As you can see, polygonic, and you'll find this polygonic free. And then after that, what I'm going to do is just scroll down. You'll see something like this, and I'm going to hit plus, and when I do that, I'll find something like this. So this is the free version. As you can see, all of them are black, but this one is free. I have downloaded this add-on a little bit early on, so maybe they have added more free grasses or more free assets. I don't know, but this is the early version, so just keep that in mind. So after that, all I'm going to do is let me save it, since in case it crashes sometimes when you are adding a particles, Blender crashes. And also let me change to solid viewport, just in case. So after that, I'm going to OK, and as you can see now, the grass has been added. So let me go to AV material preview to see what we are getting. So this is what I'm getting. AV is compiling the shaders, so you might not see things properly. Yeah, yeah, I think it has finished compiling the shaders. The beauty of this add-on is when you are adding, grass particles, it will give you its own, texture. I think it's better than the previous one, right? It's more appropriate, right, than the previous one. So just repeat the same process for this one also. Like I'm going to select it, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, and change this one to face selection mode. I'm going to select this face, as you can see, and I'm going to hit P, and then I'm going to select this by selection. What it's going to do is going to separate it and make it a new object. So if I get outside of the edit mode by hitting tab, as you can see, this one's a new object. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to select all of them, all of the grass ones, which I want them to be separate. So I'm just going to hit tab, select this one. I'm going to select this one again, hit P, and then selection. Now it's a different object, right? And also there is also one right around here. I'm going to select it, hit tab, select it, P, and then selection. Now everything is different, right? So the next thing that what I'm going to do is I'm going to join them. I'm going to join all of this. So select this one, hold on shift, and then select them, as you can see. After you have done that, I'm going to right click and then hit join. And then I'm going to press N to slide out this tab, and I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to OK, so that the material will be, the grass will be applied on them also. So that's what I want. I'm going to press Ctrl S and save it. So guys, this is how you can add a grass. It's a really simple grass. So after this, for example, if I want to add, some other weed or some other, plant inside this grass particle system, what I'm going to do is, if I, for example, select this one, as sorry, this grass, and if I press N, go to the particle setting, as you can see, on polygonic, you can see the particle setting right here, the number, the C, the scale, and everything. If you scroll downward, you can see the objects that are used, to create this scatter. As you can see, these are the names. So what I'm going to do is, this is the collection that's used, this is the name of the collection, and inside this collection you can find this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to add this inside the collection which the grass elements are. So to do that, I'm going to press N. When I do that, as you can see, move to collection. You'll see the option to this called move to collection, and I'm going to hover around this polygonic. When I do that, I will find something like this, and then click this particle system, or you don't have to click it, just hover around it. Now you'll see the collection that's used to create the grass system. So if I click this now, this is going to be added on that collection. So if I select this one again, in the field, the grass field, and if I go to this collection, I'm not going to see anything. The reason for that is I need to refresh it. So if I refresh it, as you can see now, I can see the fifth zone which I have added. So for example, in order to see it clearly, if I press S to scale it, as you can see it inside the grass field. Like you can't see it from here since it's small, but if I scroll, if I move in, closer to the ground, I can see it. So by using this method, you can add uh, your own assets inside this grass system. So this is all for the grass. And the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to add trees. To add trees, I'm going to use a 3D warehouse. So as you can see, you'll find the link in the description for these trees. Just download them, any of them that you want, and also you have some kind of palms, really high quality palms. You can also, search yourself right here and just find something that's suitable for you. So guys, as you can see, I have imported some asset which I have shown you how you can import from 3D warehouse, as we have done for this house. And also for the texturing, it's really simple. So if I select one of the trees and then drag it upward like this, the one thing that's different from texturing other object is this tree leaves has to has to be transparent, I mean translucent, right? They have to pass through some kind of light. So to do that, what you can do is just add a translucent base diff. Like to do that, press shift A, type translucent like this translucent base diff, and then and also add shader, as you can see, and then mix the base diff and the translucent. And for the color, like for the color of the translucent, just plug the one that you have plugged in for the principal base diff, and for the normal, just plug the bump that you have plugged in for the principal base diff. And then after you have done that, you'll have your translucent material. And that's the only difference that you have. And for the bark, it's as similar, just I only use displacement. You can also use bump, roughness, I have shown you earlier when we are working with the existing materials or textures. So that's what I have done. So just try to add as much as variety as you can. As you can see, I have added some kind of small plants, small trees. I think this tree is the one that I have made myself using sapling tree generator. So just import the necessary trees that you want. I will place the link in the description. As you can see, just download this one and then just try to create more variety. As you can see, this one also, it's I think this one is a little bit more different than the rest. You can have some kind of wall plants. So just download them and fill out your scene. As so just some I'm just going to fill out my scene using this assets. So guys, as you can see, I have finished placing the assets. I have made some change, as you can see right here. There was some kind of metal structure right here, right? So what I have done is I just removed that and copied and mirrored this one. I think this is better than the previous one. And also, as you can see, I've placed some kind of seating right here. The point is, I've populated the scene with the with the materials that are necessary. Like for example, as you can see, there's some kind of plant that's going through this structure. I think that this structure is left so that a plant can go through it. So because of that, I have placed something that's that's suitable for this scene. So just I have also changed the walkway. I was not happy with the walkway, so there was a walkway that I have had from a previous project, and I have used that. I think this is good. I also got this from 3D warehouse from some project. I don't remember from where, but this is also from 3D warehouse. So basically, guys, that's what I did. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to place some kind of lighting, and we are going to see how our scene is going to be like. So the first thing that we need to do before anything is we need to add a camera, right? So that we can work according to that camera view. I'm going to shift right click in a place where I want my camera to be imported. So I'm going to press shift A and then select camera. Now I have a camera, as you can see. So if I press GZ to move it upward, this is the camera. If I press N, as you can see, this is the transform property of the camera. So let me make the Z value to be 0, since I want to view it from this axis. Or I can press numpad 0 to get inside of my camera view, or you can go to view, local camera and active camera. When you do that, you can go inside and go outside by just clicking the same button. So I'm going to click active camera, and then after that, make sure that this is selected. I'm going to make the X rotation to be 90 degrees so that it will be vertical, and then make this one to 0 so that I won't have any inclinations. The next thing is I'm going to make the focal length to 25 like this, and then I'm going to move it in the y-axis. To move it, just drag. You can manipulate it right here, as you can see. Just move it like this. Just adjust it in the way that you want it to be placed. So guys, this is the camera. The next thing that I did was I have adjusted the resolution X, just I made it 1800 so that I will have a little bit of height in my render. So guys, this is what I'm getting for now. I might adjust some things later, maybe press GZ and move this one just a little bit like this, so that, yeah, maybe something like this will be good. After that, let us create the lighting. So to do that, we are going to use a free add-on called Easy HDRI. I will place the link in the description below for the add-on. To install it, it's really simple. Like, go to edit and the preferences, select the zip file that you have downloaded, and then select it and press install add-on. You can install it as I have shown you how to install the add-on earlier, another add-ons earlier. So just do that. When you do that, you will find the add-on right here. So this is what it's going to look like. For it to work properly, you need to download a bunch of HDRs from different websites. The most famous website for free HDR is polyheaven.com. Just go there and download a bunch of HDRs which are going to work on. Just put them in a single folder, and after you have done that, click this folder icon. Mine is on download. Select the folder that you have downloaded those HDRs. Select the folder and hit accept. When you do that, you'll find all of the HDRs that you have downloaded right here. After you have done that, what you are going to do is select this create world. When you do that, the add-on will create the lighting setup, the HDRI lighting setup for you. So to see that, what you are going to do is go to shader editor right here and change this one to, it's going to be on object, change this one to world, and you will see the property right here. So basically you can manipulate everything that you need from right here, but sometimes you might want to change the location, the rotation of the HDRI. So you might have to use the settings right here. But for the sun strength, the sky strength, the factor, the gamma, the saturation, you can do all of them right here without getting inside or without even knowing how to set up an HDRI. So this is a really good add-on for creating a lighting. After that, go to render properties and change your render engine to cycles, and then change the device to GPU so that it will be faster. And after that, let me activate this denoise. Let me change this one to 1824 so that I won't forget when I'm rendering. And then after this, what we are going to do is let us see what this is going to give us, right? Let us see what this is going to give us. So if I go to render view, we will see what we're going to get. So guys, this is what we are getting out of without doing anything, without adjusting anything. This is what we are doing, right? So the next thing that I'm going to do is let me activate this render region so that I won't render anything outside of the camera view. Let me select this one and let me copy paste the material right here. In case if you are wondering where I bring this texture from, it's just the same texture that we have used for for the ground, for the ground. But what I have done is, if I go to this world object, I just give it RGB curve and make it a little bit brighter. The original is going to be the original is looking like this, as you can see. Make it a little bit brighter so that it will look like a little bit worn out. As you can see, if you're from a distance, it looks like that. So guys, this is what we are getting out of the blue. But as you can see, the background in the lighting, the background is a lot of right. So sometimes you might have to use your own background, or sometimes you might have to use a different HDRI that will work with the scene that you are working on. So for the scene, I found this solitude to be working really good. So I'm going to use the 1K version. So as you can see, this is what I'm getting with the solitude. And before doing anything, as you can see, this is looking good, right? But we want to enhance the scene a little bit more. One thing that I have noticed is, as you can see, the texturing, it's a little bit too much, right? As you can see, the bumpness. So the reason for that is, I think it's because of the displacement. So what I'm going to do is let me make I'm going to use this displacement, the second texture, which it does not have the crust, the one that does not have any crack. And then I'm going to make points. I'm going to make it 0.001. I mean 5. Something like this will be good. And I'm going to make the texture a little bit more, bright. So I'm going to let me copy this RGB, and I'm going to paste it right here in the color. and then I'm going to make it a little bit more bright. Yeah, something like this. Something like this will be good. So after this, the background is, I don't like the background. As you can see, it's not that much bright. So in order to make it bright, if I increase the strings, the sun strings, or the sky strings, like if I make it 3 or something, our scene is going to be a lot brighter also. So that's not what I want. That's not what I want. So to fix that, what I'm going to do is uh, I'm going to change this one to 3D viewport, and then I'm going to create a background of my own using this HDRI. So I'm going to shift right click right here, somewhere right here, and I'm going to press shift A, and then I'm going to go to mesh, and I'm going to add a UV sphere, and after this I'm going to scale it, just make it somewhere around here. After that, let me go to the world, and let me change this one to 4K for now, just 4K. The reason that I'm doing it, that is, as you can see, when I change it, for example, if it was 1K, as you can see, it's going to be 1K. If I change this to 4K, that's going to be 4K. So I'm just going to copy the 4K and revert this to 1K as it is. And then after that, I'm going to go to object. So this one is already selected. So if I press new, this is going to be the material for this one. So I'm going to select this principal base diff and then press X to delete it. So if I press Ctrl V to paste it, and then if I use an emission shader, so that I will control the brightness in the the darkness of this HDRI. If I press Shift A and then add emission, like emission, and then I'm going to plug this one right here, plug this one right here. Now this is affecting the world. As you can see, this is affecting the world. That's not what I want. All I want this to be is just the background. So to do that, what I'm going to do is make sure that this one is selected. Go to this object properties, and in the visibility, you will see ray visibility. Just deactivate everything other than the camera. So when I do that, as you can see, this one is not affecting anything. Like, it's not, if I just move it like this, as I did, as you can see, just let me place it right here, for example, like, if everything was working, as you can see, we can see the reflections and everything. And if I activate shadow, this will cast a shadow. But if I deactivate everything, it will only be seen as a background. It will not have any diffuse, glossy, transmission, shadow, anything. So just you can do that to create the background. So I am going to press Ctrl Z. So if I let me navigate like this, as you can see, the texturing is correct. That's what I want. So if I press 0 to get inside of my camera view, this is what I'm getting. I'm going to make the brightness to be 5, something like this, and then I'm going to press SZ and scale it just a little bit like this, and then press GZ. Yeah, something like this would be good. I can press RZ and rotate it, but I'm going to leave this one as it is. And then after this, after I have, I can control my background brightness and lightness without affecting the scene. That's what I want. After this, let me change this world, and then I want to change the lighting of this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the Z direction. So if I press, for example, hide, and to see what this is going to do, like if I rotate it, as you can, the scene, I mean the HDR is going to rotate. So that will in turn give us a different lighting whenever we change the angle. So that's what I'm doing. So if I press Alt H, so that this will be there. So I find to be 250 to be good for this scene. As you can see, it might appear to be dark, but we will make it better over time. So after this, let me select this one. This one is already selected, and in the same properties, in the object properties, in the visibility, in the viewport display, I'm going to change the display as to bounds, so that it doesn't obstruct my workflow. And after this, I'm going to add a sun. I'm going to press Shift A and a light, and then I'm going to add a sun like this, and I'm going to press GZ so that I can see what I'm working, and then I'm going to press RY and rotate it like this, somewhere around here. Go to the top view, and then RZ again, and make the lighting something like this. Sorry, something like this. This is just, the setup that I have been working on, and this is just a result of my experiment. So you may ask, why am I rotating the sun like this? It's just, the lighting setup that I have come up with for this specific scene by, experimenting. After that, I'm going to make the sun strength to be something like this. And then let me give it a little bit of, warmness for the sun, like this. And then maybe decrease the saturation like this. And then let me give this one also, just select the eyedropper. And then let me make it something like this, right? And then after this, as you can see, this part of the scene is a little bit dark, so to change that effect, we might have to add some kind of area lamp or area lights. So I'm going to shift right click right here, press shift A, and I'm going to add an area light, and I'm going to change the shape to a disk, and I'm going to press GZ, and I'm going to scale it something like this, and I'm going to make the intensity to be 1000 like this. And then I'm going to rotate it like this, and I'm going to press GZ and move it somewhere around it so that it won't be visible, from something like this. And then I'm going to press Alt D and also, have the same effect right around here. Just I'm going to rotate this one like this. Yeah, something like this. Then I'm going to maybe make the sun strength to 20 so that it will be a little bit more bright, right? Something like this. And the next thing is, let me go to this properties, and then I'm going to make the look to medium high contrast, and let me make the exposure to 0.3 or something, maybe 0.3. And then I'm going to use the curves, so just make it a little bit more darker like this. As you can see, you just play with the curves like this. Yeah, something like this would be good. Just play with the lighting until you have something that's interesting. That's what I do most of my when I'm rendering any project, So guys, what I did was I used a combination of physical lights and HDRIs. That's what I did. Like I try to make the sun coming from the back, as you can see, if you can see the direction of the sun, and the front part will obviously be more dark. So I just lit it up with using some air lamp. That's mostly what I do. I just make the HDRI and the sunlight to come from the back, and I will lit up the font using some kind of air lamp. Mostly that will give me what I'm looking for, like a really good rendering. So guys, just experiment with the lighting to see if you can get something better. I'm going to press RX and rotate it like something like this. Yeah, as you can see, I think this one's better. So guys, this is the final render which I've been experimenting earlier. So this is pretty much what the perfect one, the one that I have done previously from this tutorial. As you can see, I've placed the light right here, and some kind of light also right here, and the sun, and some kind of car right here, and also I have also placed some kind of lamps inside the rooms. That's obviously up to you, since this is a day render. You might not have to do that. And also I've placed a map, but I'm going to delete it since it's not that much high quality. So guys, this is the render, the previous render. So guys, you might have to experiment to get the most out of it. When I end up with this result, I have pretty much spent hours just on the lighting only. That's pretty much the most important part of when it comes to photorealistic rendering. So you might have to spend a lot of time in the lighting. So that's what I did. So after this, for the render properties, what you can do is just go to this render properties, make sure that the render images cycles in the device's GPU, and then in the render, change the max samples to 1024. Since this is exterior scene, you don't need more than that. And then after this, I pretty much leave everything as it is. I've already shown you how you can manipulate the curves, and if you want to change the look to medium contrast, just it's up to you, whatever works for you. But I think medium high contrast is good. And after this, go to this auto properties, and in the resolution, I'm going to make this one to 1800. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply it by 2 so that I will have a 4K render image like this. And after this, all I have to do is just check everything before you hit render. After that, just hit render and then render image. It will render out your image. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you have learned something from this tutorial when it comes to texturing and lighting an ArchVIZ scene. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe so that I can keep making videos like this in the future. And if you're interested, you can find it on my Patreon or Gumroad. I will place the link there. So guys, see you in the next tutorial.